feel like moving to New Orleans and putting him in school there was a good move.
Jay-Z was publicly terrified. What Blue Ivy just did to her own father on the Met Gala red carpet has the entire internet in a chokehold, and the Knowles family's hidden warfare is officially spilling out into the open. Industry observers noticed that when billionaire Jay-Z tried to tell his 14-year-old daughter to take off her sunglasses for the cameras, Blue completely dismissed him in a single, icy look, while Beyoncé just stood there in absolute silence. I mean, is the queen bee herself actually afraid of her own daughter? Internet reactions suggest that Blue Ivy has officially transitioned into an uncontrollable Hollywood diva, and her unfiltered, rebellious actions are allegedly tearing the extended family apart. Critics argue that when you hand a child a Grammy at 9 years old and shield them from the word no, you aren't raising a prodigy, you're creating a monster. But the tea gets so much dirtier behind the scenes. Reports are flying that Solange Knowles is officially done with Blue's ego and has cornered Beyoncé, demanding she check her daughter before she ruins the family's reputation. Supporters believe Blue is just a moody teenager setting boundaries, but if this is just normal behavior, then why did Mama Tina go on record admitting that Blue literally calls her up to scold her and dictate what she can or cannot post? But baby, that is just the tip of the iceberg. The ultimate plot twist hit the fan the second Solange tried to judge Beyoncé's parenting, because the internet immediately dragged Solange's own son, Jules, and exposed his disgusting public scandals. Solange is throwing stones from a glass house, and what her own son is doing online will leave your jaw on the floor. Let's look at exactly how Jay-Z spent millions of dollars to spoil his heir into a diva, and how he predicted his own downfall years ago. Jay-Z stood in front of Oprah Winfrey's cameras and spelled out the exact blueprint of his own domestic undoing. When a man with a net worth clearing the billion-dollar mark looks into a lens and confesses that his unborn child is bound to become the worst spoiled kid on the face of the earth, it ceases to be a cute parental joke. It becomes a corporate warning label.
And also around a lot of kids who get disciplined may have similar discipline.
The public fallout from that single, archived masterclass moment has shifted from a lighthearted celebrity meme into a dark case study on what happens when limitless capital replaces basic childhood boundaries. The internet didn't just look at Jay-Z as a doting father. Critics immediately flagged the statement as a terrifying glimpse into a parenting strategy where absolute indulgence was the baseline. The financial receipts alone sent shockwaves through normal, tax-paying households. Spending $1.5 million on a baby nursery before the child even takes her first breath is a level of excess that detaches a human being from reality before they can even speak. When the public learned about the solid gold rocking horse parked inside that nursery, the narrative flipped from high-class luxury to pure psychological conditioning. This wasn't about giving a child a comfortable life. This was about ensuring Blue Ivy Carter never encountered a single object in her environment that didn't whisper that she owned the world around her. Industry observers watched this play out and warned that a toddler who grows up stepping on floors that cost more than an average family's lifetime mortgage will naturally view everyday human beings as background extras in her personal movie. The escalation didn't stop at home. It spilled directly into the public spaces her father controlled. Paying $1 million a year to lease a luxury suite at the Barclays Center just so a toddler could have a private playroom during basketball games completely altered the public's perception of the Carter family dynamic. Everyday sports fans sitting in the nosebleeds looked down at a literal arena being re-engineered to accommodate a child's whims, triggering an avalanche of online resentment. The direct aftermath was immediate. Blue Ivy was insulated from the concept of shared spaces. She didn't go to public parks. She had stadium wings cleared out for her dolls. The internet reactions turned sharp, with commentators arguing that this level of extreme shielding builds a psychological fortress around a young mind, making it impossible for them to understand the word no from anyone, let alone their own parents. By the time she could walk, the corporate machine surrounding her was heavier than the security detail of most world leaders. A personal stylist, a curated wardrobe of custom designer clothes, and a dedicated confidence coach were added to her payroll before she even entered grade school. The public fallout from these revelations sparked intense debates across parenting forums worldwide. Psychologists and cultural commentators weighed in, arguing that hiring a professional to teach a toddler how to possess confidence removes the natural, messy human process of growing up. The inevitable byproduct of this corporate upbringing manifested as an eerie, unshakable poise that felt less like natural childhood development and more like high-level media training. Supporters claimed it was necessary preparation for the most famous child alive, but the broader public felt an icy detachment watching a kid move like a mini CEO before she even knew basic multiplication. The ultimate institutional validation dropped like a bomb in 2021 when the Recording Academy handed a 9-year-old Blue Ivy a Grammy Award for her contribution to Brown Skin Girl. The industry's decision to crown a child with music's highest honor sparked a massive wave of gatekeeping outrage across the entertainment landscape. Independent artists who had spent decades bleeding into microphones without a single nomination looked at a literal fourth grader holding a golden gramophone and realized the game was entirely rigged. The profound cultural impact on the public was profound. It solidified the belief that the Carters could not just buy a luxury lifestyle for their daughter, but they could actively purchase historical legacy and institutional respect on demand. Blue Ivy wasn't just royalty by blood anymore. The industry had officially given her a license to believe her natural talent was superior to everyone else in the room. The internal family structure began to show deep structural fractures when Matthew Knowles stepped up to a microphone and laid out the terrifying reality of his granddaughter's future prospects. His public statement that the family was fully prepared to buy an entire hospital if Blue Ivy decided she wanted to be a doctor sent a chilling wave through the medical and academic communities. It wasn't a statement of pride. It was a blatant admission that merit, hard work, and human effort meant absolutely nothing inside the Carter universe. The public backlash was immediate, with critics pointing out that the statement completely delegitimized the grueling sacrifices real doctors make. The shattering blow of this elite arrogance was a massive shift in how the internet viewed the Knowles-Carter legacy, transforming them from self-made icons into untouchable feudal lords who believed society's vital institutions were mere playthings for their offspring. Grandmother Tina Knowles added fuel to the raging internet fire when she casually shared a story about Blue Ivy calling her phone to demand the deletion of an Instagram post, calling her grandmother's actions whack. While Tina laughed it off as a cute story about her little manager, the public reaction was entirely hostile. The internet seized on this as definitive proof that the lack of discipline had breached the boundaries of basic generational respect. Commentators' arguments that if a 14-year-old feels entirely comfortable reprimanding her own grandmother like a disappointed human resources executive, then the domestic hierarchy inside that family is completely inverted. The ultimate cost was a total loss of public sympathy for the challenges of raising a high-profile teen. The consensus became that the adults had completely surrendered their authority to a child who now viewed herself as the supreme ruler of the family estate. The narrative took a sharper, more localized turn when the public contrast between Blue Ivy's gilded cage and her cousin Jill's upbringing became impossible to ignore. Solange Knowles had spent years vocalizing her decision to remove her son from the toxic, hyper-luxurious Hollywood bubble, moving him to New Orleans so he could be around normal, disciplined kids who understood the value of a dollar. The public began weaponizing Solange's grounded parenting philosophy against Beyoncé's hyper-indulgent strategy, creating a massive camp of supporters who praised Solange for choosing reality over royalty. This socioeconomic divide inside the same family line created a highly tense atmosphere online, setting up an explosive ideological battlefield. The entire internet was now locked in a fierce debate over which sister's method would stand the test of time, completely unaware that a devastating public timeline was about to emerge from New Orleans that would turn the entire conversation upside down. The psychological fallout from this extreme wealth didn't stay confined to internet forums. It manifested in absolute silence on the world's most scrutinized red carpet. At the 2024 Met Gala, the structural cracks in the Carter family's public image became undeniable when a team of high-level stylists and publicists quietly asked Blue Ivy to remove her sunglasses for the global press line. When her own father, Jay-Z, stepped in to reinforce the request, the teenage heir didn't just hesitate. She completely dismissed him with a cold, dismissive stance on live television. The immediate shockwave was immediate shock. What caught the industry by absolute surprise wasn't just the teenager's blatant refusal to comply with a simple aesthetic request, but the fact that Beyoncé stood right beside them, completely frozen and utterly silent. The public discourse exploded into a raging firestorm within minutes of the footage hitting social media. Media commentators analyzed the footage frame by frame, arguing that Beyoncé's uncharacteristic silence was the ultimate tell. It wasn't an act of casual modern parenting. It was the behavior of a mother who knew her authority had completely left the building. Critics across TikTok and X pointed out that the global icon, who commands armies of dancers and controls a multi-million-dollar entertainment empire with military precision, appeared totally powerless against the whims of her own 14-year-old child. The shifting public perception turned incredibly harsh, transforming the image of a tightly managed, flawless family dynasty into a highly relatable, dysfunctional domestic reality where the parents are visibly walking on eggshells around their teenager. Behind the scenes, this public embarrassment reportedly ignited a massive ideological war within the Knowles family structure, specifically drawing a hard line between Beyoncé and her younger sister, Solange. Industry insiders noted that Solange had spent over a decade quietly side-eyeing the hyper-insulated, consequence-free environment Beyoncé and Jay-Z were building for their children. The Met Gala incident became the exact breaking point. Reports began circulating that Solange confronted Beyoncé directly, demanding that her older sister finally implement real discipline before the teenager's unchecked ego permanently tarnished the family legacy. This intervention turned a private parenting disagreement into a high-stakes family feud, pitting Solange's aggressive, real-world parenting philosophy directly against Beyoncé's multi-million-dollar shield of absolute indulgence. The contrast between the two sisters' household structures added a deep layer of cultural tension to the unfolding drama. While Blue Ivy was reportedly making unprecedented diva demands during the Cowboy Carter Stadium tour, including demanding a fully customized, private VIP dressing room and an around-the-clock personal assistance team, Solange's son, Jules, was living a completely different reality. Solange had publicly vocalized her strict rulebook, ensuring Jules attended normal schools in New Orleans, hung out with regular kids who faced actual discipline, and worked for every single dollar he spent. The internet quickly weaponized this contrast, with parenting advocates praising Solange for refusing to let her son become another tragic casualty of the Hollywood elite bubble. Beyoncé's parenting model was being publicly dragged as a blueprint for disaster, while Solange was being crowned the golden standard of the Knowles family values. The emotional fallout intensified as the iconic Beehive fan base entered the chat, completely refusing to accept the narrative that their queen was failing as a mother. Millions of fans launched a massive counter-campaign, aggressively attacking anyone who dared criticize Blue Ivy's behavior. They argued that a 14-year-old girl setting a boundary on a chaotic, predatory red carpet isn't being a monster. She's practicing bodily autonomy. The online warfare reached a fever pitch as fans pulled up old footage of Blue Ivy safely guiding her grandmother away from paparazzi, trying to reframe her bossy attitude as a protective, mature instinct. But the broader public wasn't buying it. The defense fell completely flat against the mounting weight of on-record statements from her own grandparents, leaving the internet deeply divided between protective fans and an outraged public demanding accountability. The devastating realities of this divide began bleeding into mainstream media discussions, with cultural critics raising the ultimate alarm: the dangerous historical pattern of unchecked child stars. Mainstream commentators drew terrifying parallels between Blue Ivy's insulated upbringing and the infamous downfalls of legendary Hollywood figures who were never told no during their developmental years. Industry observers noted that when an adolescent is treated like a peer by multi-billion-dollar corporate structures and given absolute authority over grown adults on global tours, their perception of human hierarchy becomes completely warped. The public discourse shifted from a simple debate about a teenager wearing sunglasses inside a venue to a much deeper, darker conversation about the psychological damage of supreme entitlement. The internet consensus was clear. The Carters were playing a dangerous game with their daughter's future, and time was rapidly running out. Solange's vocal criticism of Beyoncé's household reportedly triggered a massive wave of deep-seated resentment between the sisters that traced back to their childhood. Sources pointed out that for years, Beyoncé had been the golden standard of the family, while Solange had to fight twice as hard for her artistic recognition and independence. For Solange to now hold the moral high ground regarding character development and parenting was an incredible shift in the family dynamics. The public watched the tension escalate, waiting to see if Beyoncé would issue a calculated PR statement or a curated family photo to silence the rumors of a sisterly war. The narrative had reached a state of absolute peak tension, with the entire entertainment world taking sides on which sister had actually raised the superior heir. But just when the internet thought the situation couldn't get worse, a new detail completely changed the narrative and exposed a level of hypocrisy that left the entire world absolutely speechless. The moral high ground that Solange Knowles had built over a decade vanished in a matter of seconds. The second she reportedly questioned Beyoncé's parenting, the internet did what it does best. It dug up the public records. The confirmed public facts surrounding Solange's 21-year-old son, Jules Smith, instantly shattered the illusion of her disciplined, humble New Orleans upbringing. Earlier this year, public records and entertainment reports confirmed that Jules officially debuted a highly controversial relationship with 40-year-old reality star and ex-con Tommy Lee, a woman more than 20 years his senior.
Every once in a while, I'll get a call from Blue, and she'll say, "Grandma, that's really whack what you just did. That's really whack. You should delete that. Really, you should delete that."
And do you listen?
No. I'm like, girl, I'm on to the next one.
The public reaction shifted from praising Solange to absolute, unadulterated shock. The timeline of Jules' public descent only grew darker as the internet unburied the toxic fallout of his previous relationship with actress Sky Jackson. It is a documented public fact that their relationship ended in a massive social media firestorm when intimate, private text messages between Jules and Sky were leaked directly into a public group chat. Jules openly admitted online that he leaked the texts for revenge, claiming she had cheated on him, while using incredibly degrading language to describe how he intentionally manipulated her emotions before abandoning her. Industry reactions from branding experts and talent managers were swift and severe, noting that this wasn't just typical teenage rebellion. It was a calculated, malicious PR disaster that completely compromised the Knowles family reputation of progressive values. As these timeline events resurfaced back-to-back, online speculation reached a fever pitch. The internet completely flipped the narrative on Solange, weaponizing her son's behavior to nullify her criticisms of Blue Ivy. Mass public commentary across TikTok, an ex accused Solange of extreme hypocrisy, with users screaming, "How are you going to run to Beyoncé's house to fix a 14-year-old wearing sunglasses when your grown son is out here leaking revenge porn and dating 40-year-olds?" The speculation deepened as cultural commentators questioned whether Solange's aggressive push to keep Jules completely outside the Hollywood bubble had backfired, creating a repressed environment that exploded into toxic behavior the moment he got a taste of independence. The devastating fallout of this twin family fallout is a massive, unprecedented shift in public perception toward elite parenting as a whole. The industry standard of tracking celebrity kids has evolved into a grim realization. Whether you insulate them in a multi-million-dollar Carter fortress like Blue Ivy, or banish them to a disciplined New Orleans suburb like Jules, the overwhelming pressure of the family legacy twists these kids in entirely different ways. The public is no longer choosing a side between Beyoncé and Solange. Instead, the entire entertainment world has arrived at a chilling peak consensus. Both households are visibly fracturing under the weight of their own immense fame, and the real-world consequences are playing out right in front of our eyes. The structural collapse of the Knowles-Carter family image has left the entire entertainment industry in absolute chaos. We are no longer just looking at a moody 14-year-old heir wearing sunglasses at the Met Gala or a 21-year-old cousin caught up in toxic internet scandals. The unfolding crisis is the devastating realization that both Beyoncé's multi-million-dollar fortress of absolute indulgence and Solange's strict, grounded discipline model have completely fractured under the blinding glare of the public eye. The adults have officially lost control of the legacy, and the internet is refusing to play fair. But the biggest unresolved question hanging over this entire dynasty is one the Carters are desperately trying to keep buried. If a 14-year-old Blue Ivy already possesses the power to publicly silence her billionaire parents on global television, what happens when she inherits the actual keys to the empire? Is she a creative prodigy, destined to lead the next generation, or are we actively watching the public engineering of a Hollywood monster? Now, I want to hear from you. Hit the comment section right now and drop your raw thoughts. Who is truly to blame for this family downfall? Is it Jay-Z and Beyoncé for refusing to ever say the word no? Or is Solange the ultimate hypocrite for pointing fingers while her own house is completely on fire? Sound off below, because I am reading every single response. And if you want the absolute, unfiltered truth on the biggest battles in entertainment before anyone else, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because behind the scenes, a new chapter in the sister war is reportedly dropping behind closed doors, and when the next mask slips, you will not want to miss it. Stay tuned.